Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Arsenal playmaker Emile Smith Rowe's future at the Emirates Stadium continues to be questioned. Chelsea were heavily linked with a move for him during the final days of the summer transfer window, but Mikel Arteta's side refused to let the versatile midfielder leave the club, even though he has barely featured so far this season. In fact, Smith Rowe has started just once for the Gunners across all competitions, a 1-0 win over Brentford in the Carabao Cup last month. Now, Newcastle United have been mooted as a potential destination for the 23-year-old, with Eddie Howe's side said to be keen on a possible January transfer. With that being said, Football.London has rounded up the latest updates on the Hale End Academy graduate's potential move from London up north. Latest update: transfer guru Fabrizio Romano has played down talk of Smith Rowe heading to St. James Park. Writing for Caught Offside, Romano said, "This, Smith Rowe, is a name that keeps coming up, but again, I'm not aware of any concrete talk at this stage with Newcastle. Let's see closer to the January window. As I always mentioned, Newcastle are not advancing on any signing now, as it's crucial for them to understand if they will be in UCL in the second part of the season before moving." Newcastle plan. Newcastle United are the latest Premier League club linked with a move for Smith Rowe, with Northern Echo journalist Scott Wilson reporting that the Magpies ownership group are set for a transfer meeting later this month where the Hale End Academy graduate is being touted as an early potential target for the January Arteta update. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has confirmed that Smith Rowe won't be leaving before tonight's deadline, claiming that the youngster has a big role to play for the Gunners this term. "I had a conversation with him and it's important to understand where he is," Arteta said when asked about the talented youngster. "The first 3 or 4 weeks were always going to be tricky for all the clubs. You see all the rumors and players who are not happy in every country because it's one game per week for a month and everybody has a new season with huge aspirations. There are not minutes for everybody. September will be very different." When asked if Smith Rowe would be part of the squad after the transfer deadline passes, the Spaniard simply replied with, "Yes." Smith Rowe breaks silence. Smith Rowe has now broken his silence after sending a supportive message to Arsenal teammate Eddie Nketiah, who received an England call-up for the upcoming international break, on social media. The 23-year-old posted a picture of Nketiah with a message, "My guy clap emoji heart emoji." Mykhailo Mudryk swap deal. Chelsea have shown a willingness to include players as part of a deal to sign Arsenal star Emile Smith Rowe before the summer transfer window closes, according to the Daily Mail. This has sparked speculation that Mykhailo Mudryk could be included in a deal after the Blues hijacked the Gunners' move for the Ukraine international back in January 2022. Mudryk had shown a willingness to join Arsenal before making the surprise switch to Stamford Bridge after Chelsea pipped their London rivals to an £88 million deal. However, it now appears that the Ukrainian winger could end up playing for Mikel Arteta after all if he is included in a swap deal for Smith Rowe. Arsenal respond to Chelsea interest. Arsenal have knocked back Chelsea's initial approach to sign Emile Smith Rowe. As per the Mail, the Blues were said to be weighing up a move for the versatile winger, but have now been dealt a firm setback. The report states that the Gunners do not want to sell Smith Rowe to a direct rival. However, sources claim an offer way above market value could change that stance. Meanwhile, there are also indications that Chelsea are open to the idea of a swap deal with Arsenal involving Smith Rowe. Arsenal decision. According to the Times, Arsenal are willing to sell Smith Rowe following an approach from Chelsea. The young playmaker is said to be frustrated with his lack of playing time so far this season. It is claimed that the Gunners haven't put an evaluation on the 23-year-old, but he is among the players that could be sold before the transfer window slams shut later this week. Chelsea interest. Mauricio Pochettino is interested in signing a new attacking midfielder, with Arsenal's Emile Smith Rowe recently emerging as a shock option, according to the Mail. The Blues are weighing up a shock move for Smith Rowe. Barcelona duo Rafinha and Ferran Torres are also on the club's radar as alternatives. Arsenal position plan. Mikel Arteta clearly values the traits of Emile Smith Rowe, with his verdict on the England international in 2021 showcasing his importance to the club. "I think Smith Rowe can play in 4 positions, the Spaniard said in February 2021 in response to the departure of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. "He can play as a left winger, he can play as a left attacking midfielder, right attacking midfielder, and he can play as a 9, very, very well, I think." Arteta stance. Mikel Arteta has already delivered his thoughts on Emile Smith Rowe, with new links to Chelsea unlikely to change his views. Back in March, the Arsenal boss said, "He knows how much we love him, and we know how much we missed him and how much we need his qualities, and now he needs to prove it. He needs to prove how much he wants to win, and how much he's going to contribute to this team to be better and win. And he's going to have to show that to get in the team. I think we have to manage his load. but for sure he's in a position where we can throw him in the team at any moment. And then it's about how he's coping with the team in general and whether we have to take him off or to use him in the last few minutes of the game. Thank you for viewing.